Thank you for joining us live on TRP, a program created by the Reclamation Project. The folks who believe in no soul left behind. We enjoy having candid discussions on real issues that impact people and to showcase stories that edify the Christian journey, like tonight. So, welcome. I am your host, Dr. Christopher Dent. Let me introduce our guest for tonight. While his life journey may not have started out the way he intended, it has definitely become an example of triumph. Behind the laughs, and this brother loves to laugh, and that big smile, Lawrence Darnell has a story to tell. Once an expiring doctor, he is now a sought after commercial actor. Without any further ado, let us welcome and bring in my good friend, Mr. Lawrence Darnell.
Hey, Dr. Dent.
How you doing, my brother?
Man, everything is gravy. Everything is
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Hey, since we're in Black History Month, if you don't mind, I want to start off with a quote that the good Reverend, the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said. And he said these words: "The time is always right to do right." I'll say it again. The time is always right to do right. And you'll understand that quote from the late Dr. Martin Luther King, because that relates to your story.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what is a young man from Cincinnati, Ohio, jumped in his car? He had a Christian education. He went to Pine Forge, graduated, and then his parents said, "I need you to go off to college." You said, "Fine." You had six siblings. You are the third child. That's that middle child. You're in the middle, always struggling, always fighting, always trying to find your edge. And you said, "Okay, I'm gonna go off to college." And your parents asked you before you left, "Lawrence, what do you want to be when you grow up?" You said, "I want to be a doctor." And
Yes.
I'll let you articulate from there, what type of specialty did you have in mind when you went out to be a doctor? And did you graduate? Please share this story with us.
I've always had a love and fascination for biology, chemistry, taking apart earthworms, dissection.
Mhm.
That stuff fascinated me. So when I went to Oakwood, I naturally, did well in biology and chemistry, and I wanted to be a podiatrist. I got a thing for feet. I think feet are underrated. I think they should be lotioned and they should be talked to. And you should treat your feet like they're family. I talk to my feet every morning. I put them up and I say, "Hi, feet. How are you doing?" And they'll tell me, "Put lotion on, put socks on." So that was my love. And did well, took the medical college admissions test, passed that.
Mhm.
Woo! That was a load right there. That should have gave me warning of what was ahead. But you know me, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor.
Right.
So I got accepted to Pennsylvania College of Podiatry Medicine in Philadelphia. First day in there, boom, ton of bricks. Bricks, 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 bricks. What I didn't realize was when I was getting my education, I forgot about time management. If I
Mm.
can stress that, time management. That's
Yes.
the key. And I
Mhm.
had not learned that lesson yet. So after 2 years, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do my other passion. So at that time, Bill Cosby was in town, and he had a TV show called "You Bet Your Life." I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Well, I went on the show, literally left class, went audition, got called, went to the mic, and won 10 grand. So I was like, okay, there is my exit. So a lot of disappointment. People's like, well, an actor, medicine, doctor, would be better. You should fight. You should struggle. I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm good. I'm good. So I got my little brother, who was, by the way, he was an NCAA Division I ball player at Robert Morris.
Mhm.
This cat was cold. Left hand, 43-inch vertical, 6'4".
Mhm.
Uh, had everything going for him. NBA didn't make it out, so he started barbering. He says, "You know what? I'll come with you, Darnell." So we
Okay.
loaded up in 2 cars, man.
Darnell, just before you take that journey from Cincinnati, Ohio to Southern California. Let's go back because I want to tap into some pain. So
Okay.
it was painful for you when you decided to leave medical school. And somewhat, it was a combination of pleasure and pain because you release some pain that you don't have to study all night or take those exams. So that gave you some pressure.
Yeah.
But the dream, go on, share that.
And you also deal with a sense of you didn't complete the task. You got that little gang on your shoulder. You know you failed.
Right.
You know you didn't do it. You know you missed the mark. You hear that all the time. And then, good friends of mine was like, you know what, Lawrence? Everybody doesn't make the journey. And I was like, you know what? It's cool. It's cool. Till this day, some of my classmates, one is named Dr. Masai Smith. We still talk every week. Right. And he was my classmate. He was right there with me. And he tells me all the time, yo, you did what's best for you.
Exactly. At that time, that was the decision that you made. And so before we journey to Southern California, you stopped by for around 6 years in the military, the Army. So tell us what you did, your Army experience. You almost forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh man. Let me tell you, United States Army, it was cool. That time management that I'd missed.
Yes.
Structure was there. I also followed a family tradition. My uncle, my mom's brother, served in South Korea. My dad was a reservist doing Vietnam, and my brother was an E7 at Fort Knox riding tanks. So it was a natural progression for me to go in. But the Army was great. I was stationed in Arkansas, and believe it or not, Governor Clinton, I can call him that, used to visit our base all the time. He asked anybody were they good in biology, chemistry, through the sergeant. I was like, yeah, and I raised my hand. Right. First thing in the Army, do not volunteer. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm helping. Got me security clearance and put me in the National Center for Toxicological Research.
Come on. Because
of my biology and chemistry background, I excelled in nerve agents. So I got a security clearance, and I did that for 6 years.
All right.
The war broke out, and I went to Desert Storm, Desert Shield. But I still wanted to be Rambo.
Come on.
So went down to Fort Benning, got in airborne school. Come to find out they needed a medic. Well, I'm cross-trained as a medical technologist and a chemical specialist. So the unit was like, well, we need a doctor. I was like, I can do combat medicine. It was like, that's good enough. But you can't jump into Iraq. I was like, what? Can't jump? Airborne. Hello. I need to have the conversation for the girls. Right. I jump. No. If you break a hip or you mess up an ankle, we don't have the medical support. We're going to land the plane and let you walk out the back.
Wow.
And sure enough, MP, some highway, it was a logistics spot called Log Base Echo. And the plane landed, walked out of the back. That was that. And into war. And it's not for everyone. That was the first time I had training, but I never had this kind of training. I had never used the bathroom over a bucket of diesel fuel in all my training. We dug a little hole, and covered it with a shovel. 6 months, no running water, no MREs. I'd seen them, but we always had the cafeteria right there, so I didn't go in and get a hot meal. No, food was sitting on a pallet in the middle of the sun. Well, we're in Saudi Arabia, 127 degrees. So you quickly adapt. We realized if the water sat in the sun all day, it would be hot. So we started to dig holes, line it with a plastic trash bag, put the water in there in the morning. The morning, it would drop down to almost 60 degrees. We would bury all that water and then put sandbags on top so we knew where it was in the desert. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, uncover that bag, that water was still 60 degrees. And when it's 120 plus degrees outside, you drink that water, dude, it's like, it's refreshing. You feel rejuvenated, and just go on from there.
Man, that is absolutely beautiful, Lawrence. Check this out. Yeah. So our cars are packed. We have water inside. We have some water in the trunk. We are ready to hit the road. Yeah. You told your brother, I'll lead, you follow. You took the 10 all the way to Southern California. Tell us what happened the minute you saw you are in Los Angeles, California. Share those thoughts with us.
Well, first of all, y'all's freeways are huge. Cincinnati, Ohio it's a city. Now it's a real city. We're in the Super Bowl and we're going to win it naturally. But at that time, it was still up and coming. Yeah. So I had never seen 8 and 9 lane highways and the 405. Mm-hmm. I caught on what people were laughing at because you do 4 or 5 miles an hour.
Right. Or it takes you 4 or 5 extra minutes to get to where you need to go, or hours.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. So it was just like, wow. It was a huge wake up. Now, we came out here with we had finances in our pocket, but we didn't have no jobs. And, two brothers, we had the money, we paid rent, and then we had to start looking. I'm an actor, but people don't realize the doors don't open. So I'll tell you the truth. We did extra work for the first month, and we would take the food from the set because they were just going to throw it away. It was like Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, orange juice. And I was like, what do you got to do with that? Oh, we're going to toss it. And my brother was like, yo, we'll take it. So we took the cereal, the chips, the juice. Dude, we carried that stuff home. It worked out. Then eventually I got a security job and he found him work. But that the first 6 months, man, it's kind of white knuckle. Yeah. You actually, if you ever come out here like we did, you need somebody in your corner. All jokes aside, I would not advise you to come out here by yourself. Right. The depression, the fact that no one's returning your call and you just know that you're it. Well, right. Everybody come out here thinks they're it.
Right. Well, that's step one. You have to have that, the it factor.
Yeah. It's a rude awakening. You get that slap in the face. You're it where you came from. But I hear this is a big pond. Right. They got sharks here. They got barracuda. Yeah. They got sea bass. They got grouper. You coming here, if you a guppy, man, you hiding in the mangoes, man, and the mangrove weaves, man. You ain't going out there, man. They'll eat you up. And if you're not grounded, or you have like I have my brother, and because he played basketball, he knows what pressure is. Right. We could bounce off each other, and that's how now what 20 years later. Right. He's a federal agent, and I'm doing TV commercials, but it did not start out that way.
Right. No. So there's a song that's a popular song. I know you know the artist, but I'm not going to highlight her. But the song's entitled "There's a Dream Out There with Your Name on It."
Yeah.
You are developing that dream, and that dream has become a reality to you. Now, there's something important about developing relationships, and you did that in high school. You did that in college, and then you did that in the Army. And when you landed here in Southern California, there were some college friends that you could lean on. Even though you went through some things, there were some numbers that you called. There were 2 family members that you reached out to you, and they embraced you. They said, "Welcome to brotherhood." And then, quote unquote, what you actually need to hear was "Welcome to the family of Southern California." Share that with us.
Okay. Christopher Brooks, Victor Brooks, and Paul Brooks welcomed me. And Brian McKnight's family took me over for the holidays so I had a place to eat. But Chris Brooks made sure my brother and I, he was at Cynics Casting. So he made sure we had extra work, And extra work at that time, I think was $110 for eight hours. And then, you got your meals on the set. But I think the first movie we did was called Set It Off. Yeah, and we got 21 days worth of extra work, and that was a real blessing. But the Brooks have always been in my corner since I came out here. Yeah, and I appreciate Chris and Victor and Paul to this day. Matter of fact, I talked to them through Facebook and other social medias, but those guys really embraced me. They really, and Julie too. Julie McKnight Brooks.
That's good. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Now that you were introduced, now you got connected.
Yeah.
Now you're connected. So there's a new set of people that you are now surrounded by. Tell us your experience when you met Sister Patti LaBelle. And let her know about that pie. Let her know they sent me one of those pies for Thanksgiving.
Okay, now that's going to take us back to Philly.
Let's go to Philly then.
Okay.
Get in the
Patty
helicopter. Don't take the car though.
Yeah. Huh?
Get in the helicopter. Don't take the car back to Philly.
Patti LaBelle is all. I cannot tell you. She is so much like a mom, my mom or your mom. She knew our name, so she would call us baby. She says, I'm gonna give you baby's work. I was like, oh, okay. But you have to listen to me. Baby, sit down. I'm talking, don't move. I was like, ooh. Okay, Miss LaBelle. She says, I want you to come on time and I want you to learn your work because this is your work. And then when you perform, it will be second nature. So she had a theater called Chance's Champion. And that's my first acting gig after I won the Cosby Show in Philadelphia was from Miss Patti LaBelle. And I still thank her to this day. Every chance I get to see her, I remind her of it. And she's like, yeah, I remember you. And I was like, thank you, because, you really don't know what a person's going through. That's why I tell everybody, you don't have to have money. Just smile. Yes. Just say, hey, how you doing, man? I see you. Have a good day. The key word, I see you. Yeah. A lot of people around feel no one cares. Right. And it ain't always about money. Just tell somebody, hey, I see you, my brother. I know you're having a rough day. I've been there. A kind word changes everything. Yes. And we're supposed to be ambassadors. And that's the key. Gotta have a kind word. Keep a kind word. In my case, it's easy. I just start smiling. And they'll look at me like, dude, what's up with you? I'm like, man, I'm just naturally like this. I was born this. My parents even told me that this is kind of personal. When my diaper was full, they look up at me and they said I would start laughing. Normal babies are supposed to cry. Right. I'm wet. I'm full. Change me. They said I would just look up and start laughing.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from you is one word. Is connectivity.
Yes.
And acknowledgement. Acknowledge someone. You don't have to know them, but you can acknowledge them.
Yeah.
So let me take the time and acknowledge you on the next level because you got introduced to some commercials. Let's play this first commercial that you were in. It's about Southwest Airlines. Okay. And let's get a good laugh together, and then we'll talk about some more. How about that? Come on.
Okay, go right ahead.
All right.
Want to get away?
And what's so funny about that? You see, in college,
true story. All morning long, because call time was at 5 a.m. I got dressed. I ate breakfast. We got about 7:30. We were in the neighborhood. Lawrence missed the shot. Lawrence missed the shot. Nothing but net. For like 20 minutes in a row. I thought I was having a breakdown. I was making the basket. They didn't want me to make the shot. They wanted me to hit the candy glass behind it and break it. And I was like, is somebody recording this? It's like, no, we're waiting for you to miss the shot. It was one of those things. And then when I finally got it right, I missed it. It hit the one that broke. Did y'all see the basketball roll back?
Yeah.
That was completely unscripted. The ball did that.
That was your angel guiding it. That was your angel.
It act like a bowling pin.
Come on.
And because of that little hook of the bowling pin, that commercial ran for 3 years. So now for the next 3 years, you don't know it, because commercials normally only run 13 weeks. Next 3 years, I had income. I didn't have to worry about eating. It was a blessing.
Yes.
And like I tell you, I don't get the Hollywood A-list thing because you should be humble for what they pay you and for little work you have to do. Now, don't get me wrong. When you do movies and feature films, there's a lot of pressure on you. I get that. But afterwards, some of those checks, man, you should just drop to your knees because you're never going to have to work again.
Right.
Even with that one commercial, it fed me for 3 years.
Yes.
And I think we did that in 9 hours. Yeah.
You know what, Lawrence? What God has for you, it's for you.
Yeah.
What God has for me is for me.
Yeah.
Now let's go. You met Flojo, man. That's when Flojo was your. Before you say something, let's look at it first. That's
Okay.
you and Progressive. Come on, let's talk. Talk to me, man. Come on, let's
All
see.
right.
Here we go.
Hi, we're looking to save some money on our car insurance.
Great! At Progressive, you can compare rates side by side so you get the same coverage, often for less.
Wow, that is huge.
And this is to remind you that you could save hundreds.
Yeah, that'll certainly stick with me.
We'll take it.
Go, big money! I mean, go, it's your break, honey.
Now, is she full of energy like you? Did you guys have a lot of sit down?
Not only is she full of energy, she's extremely kind. She took pictures with me. She told me her story. She was a substitute teacher from New York. They came out here, same as me, but she came with her husband. And bouncing off each other. They were doing theater. He was cleaning apartments, like janitorial work. It wasn't really working out. She got a call for an audition. Now, let me tell you guys about an audition. They have no idea what they're looking for. Did you hear what I just said? They have no idea what they're looking for. You must show them. She went dressed like Flo. Think about that. That was a bold statement, but she believed in it. The key to acting is you, the actor. Do you believe what's coming out of your mouth? Do you believe the words that's coming out of your mouth? Because if you do, you'll be a Denzel. But if you don't, that's something that separates all the good ones from mediocre. They believe it.
And then they show what they believe.
They're convicted. They have no gall. They are convicted. You know, I am Flo. And what turned into one commercial, the president of Progressive is in Cleveland, Ohio. They saw it. The wife told the husband, that's your spokesperson. And that's how she booked it. And she told me all this while I'm sitting on set. I was like in awe. I was like, okay, does she know I'm just here for today? Didn't matter to her. Right. She posed for pictures. She at that time she was doing pretty well. It was hot that day because I remember the set. She went and bought a yogurt truck. Being here, you know, you get strange things that to the normal, it was a tax write-off. So she bought a yogurt truck to come to the set, and we all had yogurt. It was just a great day, you know, and I was blessed that it ran 3 years, but it was excellent. She's just a great Stephanie. I'm trying to think of her real name. Well, just call her Flo, but just a great person to work with, really. Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Doc.
You have truly been blessed.
Yeah.
You have truly been blessed on your journey trying to get to your destiny.
Yeah.
And what I like in your story is this. Someone blesses you, then you return and bless others. And your blessing came from people that you didn't know you were going to have your blessing from. Now, when someone says Patti LaBelle, someone think about her singing, her performance, the pies that she has. But no one, the story you told was an intimate story on someone. Watch this now. In Black History Month, is extremely important that when a person of color says something and then they actually back it up, that means so much. Because sometimes our words and our actions, they just simply don't match. So I want to salute you right now for being a man of God, being consistent. I don't even know if you know what your name means. You look in your name. Your name is a byproduct of Lazarus, which was Jesus' best friend. And Jesus went and he raised him from the dead. Right. But you know what your name means? God has helped. And through your whole life, that's why you became a doctor, to help people. You went to college to help, and God said, no, I have a way to use you differently. So I now put you in the army for 6 years. And every time you raised your hand, you couldn't help from raising your hand because that's in you. It's in your DNA to help people. Yeah. So when someone tells you, put your hand down, you can't help it. I'm putting my hand up. So that leads me to the
I did not know that about my name.
That's all right. That's why I do research. That's my job. Hallelujah.
Wow. That is great. You know, can I also mention another, because it's Black History, a lady that has really helped my career?
You certainly can. Come on.
Okay. Now, because I'm in the union, I'm a Screen Actors Guild. I have a great agency, which is called BBR, Brady, Brennan, and Rich.
Okay.
They're wonderful people. But I also do theater that's not part of SAG. And there's a young lady by the name of Cleo King
Okay.
that brought me in, showed me the ropes of theater. And my part in the theater was to play Dr. King. And she said, you'll be a great Dr. King. And we did that for about 3 years. We only stopped because of the pandemic, but she has systematically looked out for me. She's called and says, hey, Lawrence, such and such needs you down at the set. Are you available? I'm like, sure, because a lot of stuff here is word of mouth and it is connections.
Right.
Yeah. So this young lady has been very, very significant, as far as me getting out and meeting people. She's taken me as far as St. Louis. I met her mom, her family. They put me up. It was great. And the little theater we put together is called Love History Workshop. And instead of calling it Black History, we call it Love History Workshop. And what she did, she got all her actor friends. We did, let's see, the lady with the straightening comb. What is her name? Madam C.J. Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker. We did Dr. E.B. Du Bois. I did Dr. King. She did Fannie Mew Hamer. Just a great love history workshop. And that's the key. She says, love is universal. Hate has to be taught.
Yes.
And that was her whole premise. And I don't know if you know Cleo King. She was on Mike and Molly show on CBS. Just yeah. So I've always inspired to be like Dr. King. Tough shoes to fill because, man, the world doesn't like good at all.
Right.
And he was calling out people, hey, just be kind. Yeah. Just help somebody. Don't say pull up your boots and you see he don't have no shoes on. Right. Put some shoes on him first.
Now, you know what?
Yeah.
No, I didn't understand King at first because it was nonviolence. I preferred
Malcolm
because he TCB, which you took care of business.
Yeah.
So let me do this. I want to share another quote from King, and then if you don't mind, can you articulate one of King's lines and share that with us? Because I know that when you go into character, that you can actually be that character. Can you switch that button right here? No, it's right here. My fault. Right here. And, right there. And then turn to Dr. Martin Luther King and share something. Before that, let me just articulate one of his other quotes. And it says this: a man dies when he refuses to stand up that which is right. And he was the epitome of nonviolence. But he kept, and we shall overcome. He was always seen holding hands, but he was always had an upward or forward movement. And even in COVID, don't let COVID stop you. Keep moving, keep smiling, keep sharing. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Lawrence Darnell. It is the late Dr. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
So even though we face the difficulties of the day and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
Yes.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even a state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Come on.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every mountain shall be made low, and the rough places made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
Yes.
This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
Come on.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discord of our nation into a beautiful symphony. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to stand up together, to go to jail together, but knowing that one day we will be free.
Yes.
Oh, and this will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee.
Come on.
Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died. Land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And of America's to be a great nation, oh, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania. But not only that, let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom to ring, and we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Oh, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Woo. Hey, that was good. Oh, press that button again because I need you to go back to long. Okay, good.
Man, I love you, Dr. King.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, can you go to Arkansas with me?
Yes.
Let's go to Arkansas for a second. After that, then we're gonna go to another place. But I want you, since you're in that frame of mind, let's go to Arkansas and share your story with what happened to you on that Arkansas road.
Yeah. I'm a soldier at Pine Bluff Arsenal, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and I'm on some road. I didn't know where I was. I just knew how to get to the base. So I pull up to a light and I look over, and the two guys sitting there had on full Ku Klux Klan gear, and they look right over at me. Mm-hmm. There's a sense of terror. There's a sense of, yo, are they going to kill me? Are they going to hang me? Are they going to lynch me? And I'd always heard stuff about Arkansas. A lot of the black people that are missing were fed to the wild hog. It's called a razorback. So I'm gripping the steering wheel. I'm praying. Because the thing is, even though you know how to fight, most people who know how to fight don't really want to fight.
Right.
I told you, Dr. Dent, I will run and hide in a minute to live to go to see another day.
Yes, yes.
But if you corner me, now there's a little something going to come out of you. You know, I failed Ranger selection, but I picked up a whole lot of stuff in my failing. And I got no problem taking a blade or a spoon or a knife and doing what I have to do to get you up off of me. I don't always need a gun. That's right. That's one of the things, part of, United States military, they show you what to do. But I was not feeling that. I saw, and then my ancestors kicked in. Now you know how we felt. Mm-hmm. I was like, the light turned green, and like a puff of smoke, my car was gone, and they did not follow me. And it just, man, it's I can see that to this day. Just looking over there, I can see them looking at me.
Right.
You know that white hood means evil, and
Right.
I'm like, but why? I'm here. I'm a United States Army soldier. I'm fighting for your Constitution and your freedom.
Right.
Why are you even parading that? And I knew they had to know I was military because I always have U.S. Army right on the right side of my windshield. It helps when you get a speeding ticket. Sometimes cops are ex-military.
Right.
It can start a conversation that can end up getting you a warning ticket versus a real ticket.
Exactly.
So I think maybe that saved me, but the sheer fact that they looked at me, it just sends all kind of, it's like you're wide awake now.
Yeah.
What's the next move? Is he going to pull a shotgun up and shoot the window out? Or is he going to throw a gasoline bomb? Because, they're famous for that. But like I said, God protected me and I got through that. And I am, glad I could tell the story. Sometimes running is the better part of valor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm thank God I ran.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you live to see another day.
Yes.
And that's
many days.
Yes.
Yes. Many days.
So let's before we go back to California, let's go to Boston. Share with us your Boston story. There's a story that happens in Boston that brings some unification regarding the Black history experience.
In 1978, this was the year before I got to high school. There's a professor there by the name of Mr. Battles. And part of history, because he was a history teacher, he would take the students and actually walk the very steps of history. So they wanted to go to Bunker Hill to see where Crispus Attucks, the first Black man to die for the American Revolution. This is 1978. So him and his wife were chaperoning, took 12 other students, and they go. Well, no one told them in 1978, Black people don't go to Bunker Hill. And 3 carloads of white guys came up and they had axes, hockey sticks, and they attacked them brutally. So what Mr. Battles did, and the men, and by the way, when I say men, these are 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in high school. This is a private school in Philadelphia. We're not used to violence. It's one of the things that white people need to learn about us. We're not all the same. Some of our parents wore suits and ties and demanded that we do our homework, demanded that there's no extracurricular activity going on in this house. Demanded when the street lights come on, you gotta be here in the house or I'm gonna beat your butt.
Right.
Demanded us, we can't say, yeah, what's up? Did you what? It's yes, sir, no, ma'am. And you better tell your mama thank you, or I'll pop you aside your head. Right. A lot of white people don't know that. A lot of African American families have very strict discipline.
Yes.
Switch, belt, slipper, they don't tolerate foolishness. And by the way, these kids were raised under that same branch where they were disciplined. So they had on suits and ties. They were going to see the spot. The violence took place. They actually surrounded the girls. They did not try to fight back. They saw a city bus passing and they flagged the bus down, pushed the girls in there. Meanwhile, Mr. Battles got stitches in his head. Several other students got, when you get hit real hard, it turns burgundy.
Right.
Several of them had that on their back. CBS Evening News came down and interviewed them because they were shocked that they didn't fight back. Long story short, that following year, I went there as a freshman, and the teacher made an impression on me. Till this day, we're still friends. And I told him, now that I'm in Hollywood, I'm going to do your story. Yes. And it's time that the world sees another side of us, and it's time. So when he comes on, his name is Mr. Charles Battles. He's going to help write. There were, I call it the Boston 14.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it so that the world sees another side of us, that discipline side. Come in when the street lights come on. Tie your shoes. Hey, pull your pants up. Cut your hair,
Right.
Pine Forge was very, very much onto that discipline side. And Mr. Battles exemplified that. That's why he felt safe enough. I mean, think about it. 2 adults, 12 kids. You can't do that today.
No.
Them kids will be all over. They got iPads. They ain't listening to you. They're not paying attention. You trying to teach history, they back there texting each other and giggling.
Yes.
Yeah. But he wanted them to see American history, where it took place. They went to the Boston Tea, where they threw the tea in the harbor. He carried them to those places.
Right.
That makes the learning come to life. I told him in 1978, you were ahead of your time because no one was actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just reading the history book, Boston Tea Party, American Revolution. It even sounds boring.
Right.
He said, no, get your parents' permission. Let's get in a car, a van, and we're going to drive up there. And by the way, the school's in a place called Pine Forge Academy. It's like 40 miles southeast of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have introduced a little saying that says focus on the family. So you're focused on the family, siblings of 6, you're in the middle, you're the third child, and you are always fighting. 2, you're tired of hand-me-downs. I want my own. So now you made your own paper, and now tell us how you went back home to Pops and said, Dad, let me give you some things to show you that I've made it, I have arrived, and I just want to show some appreciation.
Yeah.
So share that with us.
First of all, I need to let every mom and dad know sometimes kids are bad. So release the guilt. Let it go. You were good. Kids are bad.
Right. Right.
Now, in my case, I learned that early. I have good parents, and I saw that early, even before Pine Forge and everything happened to me. My parents were fair.
Mm-hmm.
They were not abusive to me.
Mm-hmm.
They were honest. Matter of fact, they introduced me to the church. And I'm going to jump back and forward. The guy that baptized me just passed away. His name was Pastor Washington, 90 years old. Till he passed away, I could still call him. This is the kind of relationships that my family has helped me build. Like I told you, I'm still good friends with the Brookses. I'm still good friends with Mr. Battles. They teach me when you're around good people, keep them with you. So back to my mom and dad. My dad plays guitar. So he'd always wanted something for himself. So I sent him some money, some nice money. My mom wanted some stuff. My mom loves perfume. I told her all the time, Mom, when you were small, I always just like when you come around because you smell good. Mm-hmm. Kids have a keen sense of smell when you're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Yes. My mom used to smell like anise. Mm-hmm. And check this out. My dad, I'm going to make people laugh. My dad used to smell like English leather. Y'all remember English leather? So
that's old school right there, baby. Old school.
Yeah. But I always remember my parents smelling good, and looking good. And so when I was able to do some things financially, I think this guitar was like $1,200. I'm like, it's nothing, Dad. Mm-hmm. And my mom wanted some shoes and some other. I was like, it's nothing, Dad. And now here's the parenting. Hey, you better say that for a rainy day. Did I listen? No. Nope, because I'm a child and I don't listen.
Right.
I keep telling you, parents, kids are hard-headed. Release the guilt, Mom. Yeah. He in jail because he wanted to go. Release the guilt. Right. That daughter is wayward, Pops, because she wants to. Release the guilt.
Yes.
I can't tell you any more than that. You are good parents. Parents come with no instruction books. There's no license.
Yes.
It's a learn on the curve job.
Right.
But kids got to contribute too.
That's true.
You said come in before the street lights. Why are you coming an hour later and then have an attitude? Right. Young man, shut your mouth.
Right.
The lights, the reason why she wanted you to come in before it gets dark, because that's when the evil feels comfortable. Mm-hmm. Kids, you got to understand, evil don't like light. Mm-hmm. Evil don't like people that bring light. Mm-hmm. Shines light. That smiles. Yeah. It doesn't like it.
Right.
Evil's like a roach. When you cut on the lights, I'm taller on myself. You cut on like what the roaches do.
Spoof.
Yeah. So when before the street lights come on, be home.
Right.
And
a lot of people don't know what you mean by the street lights. The street lights they came on at every city at a different time, but the time they came on was just as the sun was setting. Right. Street lights will kick on, and everyone. It is also for safety. They want to make sure all the children are in the house and making sure their offspring is safe. That's another thing your father was saying, hey, son, save some money. But I don't think your father was saying that when you were having them fitted for them custom suits. He didn't say nothing about that. I don't think that time. He just put his hand out and it got measured. Yeah. And then he said, son, this looks mighty fine, mighty fine, mighty fine.
But can I tell you something?
Come on.
My parents are so cool. They probably don't like me saying this, but every time I get paid, they get paid, no matter how small.
Right.
Because that's just the way I'm hardwired. They my mom and dad. They giving me the opportunity. This physical specimen that I am, it came from my mom and dad.
Right.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this. So in honoring them, it helps me to be a better person. And I always have that foundation. I have a chat. I still talk to. I have a brother. His name is Orlando. Mm-hmm. Now I know families don't want to hear this, but there's 6 of us, and we know our capabilities. You can ask all my other siblings. They'll say, "Who's the smart one in the family?" And I'll point to Orlando. This cat is literally a genius. He went to a high school in Cincinnati called Wanted Hills. Mm-hmm. I remember in the 7th grade, he was speaking Latin, a dead language. In the 7th grade, he could do Latin
fluently.
That's not me. And even to this day, he is still a computer genius, and we still call him the smart one. Now, when it comes to athletic, everybody say, "Who's the athletic one?" We say Terrell. Mm-hmm. Everybody points to him. Mm-hmm. There's no need to get upset. They say, "Who can sing?" Everybody points to Nichelle. Then it comes down to who are the comedy and the class clowns. And me and Saya take turns pointing at one another. And everybody's good with it. So when you need something smart, you call Orlando. You want to learn something athletic, call Terrell. You want to learn how to sing, call Nichelle. You want to learn how to be silly? Call Saya, call Darnell. They'll make you laugh. And that's the beauty of having such a big family. Yeah, we all are separate. We're all over the place. Right. But we know. Right. I have nieces and nephews now. Mm-hmm. By the way, my auntie, my mother's sister, just passed away 19 days short of 101.
Wow.
She was in Tabor City, North Carolina, Aunt Lucille Thomas. So I always want to give a shout out to my Tabor City, North Carolina folks, because they family too.
Right.
And then my dad's brother is in Indiana. I always want to shout out to the other branch of my last name is Stewart. So I always want to shout out to them to make sure I got all the families covered, because we are huge now. Yeah. And I thank God for social media, because we can keep in contact. Matter of fact, my cousin Lisa said, "I want to talk to you later tonight." Cousin.
Right. So Lawrence, I think you missed one category.
Okay.
You articulated everything, but you missed one. If you allow me just to add one category, who has the biggest smile, then you would have won. You can't point nobody because you got everybody on the smile.
Then you know what's so funny? The smile comes from my mother.
Okay, so your mother was a smiler.
My mother is a smiler. The physical specimen, my dad is a huge dude. He's like 6'4".
Okay.
2, just naturally. Now he's a mixture. He's from Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And he was born 1936.
Okay.
And my mom is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I think 1943. Okay. I hope they don't get mad at me telling their ages.
They're going to get you. I'm writing it down now. They're going to call you. Hey, turn your phone off, because they're going to call you.
But they're really some cool folks. They really are, And that's one of those things I told you, everybody has an expiration date. I see theirs coming, and it kind of makes me sad a little bit. Right. But I had a good run. Pops is 85. I have a lot of family and friends whose dad has not reached 85.
Right.
So I'll take the blessing wherever I can get it. Mom is 78. I'll take the I had 78 good years.
Yeah.
I can say nothing. When it's their expiration date, I won't be mad. I really won't, because I had a good run. Like I told you, my parents were good. Sometimes children are not.
Come on.
Yeah. So I'm helping somebody with their struggling right now, who's always going to the prison and always crying. Stop crying.
Right.
You did what you were supposed to do. You fed and you watered the plant.
Yes.
Sometimes plants grow sideways. They grow crooked. It's not your fault. Release that. You were a good parent.
Yes.
I can't stress that enough. I had great parents. I listened to them, and it's been a blessing. Now, before, because the time is flying.
That's all right. That's all right. Come on, finish up. I got two more questions to ask you. You're not
Go
gonna
ahead,
get
go
out.
ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead, Dr. Dent.
Okay, check this out, man. Listening to you, we both went to college together. It was a blessing. Listening to your journey, trying to get to your destination, I believe you have arrived. I believe you arrived. And I don't want to speak for anyone, but as a young Black man and as a parent, I want to say this. Your parents are proud of you.
Thank you.
You need to hear that. Along with growing up, there is wheat and the tear and some thistles sometime growing. One thing that's beautiful is a rose. But if you try to go and pick it up and tear it, you may get stung. So good and evil grow together. Wheat and the tear grow together. So I have just two questions. My first question I want to ask you is this. What was your favorite Bible text?
When it was time to eat, Jesus wept.
That was a prayer. I look at now.
My mom used to look at us.
That's
Y'all
the shortest verse. Yeah. What was your favorite text? Give me another one other than that, because you did answer my question, but I think you can go deep into the quarters of your mind.
My favorite one would have to be, and it's slipping my mind, but it says it had to do with Ananias and Sapphira, and I can't remember the text. The gold and the silver was yours. Why did you lie to the Lord? Something similar to that. Okay. Remember Ananias and Sapphira?
I remember that.
They sold a piece of.
They lied to the Holy Spirit.
Right.
That's what
right.
They both
and because of that, they were struck down. So I always keep that in mind. When I'm successful, if I'm going to do something in the name of the church of the Lord, do it. Don't make a public announcement. Just go do it.
Right.
Because now you're dealing with the Holy Spirit. And them two got struck down because he told them the money was yours.
Yeah.
Why did you make such a big, because you were trying to seek praise of men.
Come on.
And because of that, the men that carried your husband are here to carry you now. Boom.
That's beautiful.
So whenever I do something for the church, because of that now, I secretly quiet, put it in, boom, don't say nothing.
Right.
I don't want to get struck dead.
Now, if you allow me, I want to add something to that story. That's a beautiful story. But in that story, what I get out of that is unification and oneness. They were both on one accord. So what happened was they both said, here's the lie we're going to tell. And they both said, yes. The wife didn't know the husband had died. So the husband came in first and told the lie. And he was instantly accused, thrown out the window to the dogs to bite him up. That's Acts 5:1-11. So the wife came in and they were one accord on a lie. Let's stay on one accord for good. And that's one of the object lessons that we can get out of here.
Yes.
My favorite Bible text is, come everyone. Taste and see that the Lord is good.
Lord is good.
And he is good, and we can eat him. We can share his body for communion and the wine for his blood, the representation. I believe you're doing good. And church is not a physical body. It's not a brick and mortar. Church is wherever you go. When you smile, when you come into a dark room and you smile, church is starting.
Amen.
You bring a glow, and the glow you came from. So the spirit the spirit that was in your parents, parents shared it with you. And now what are you doing? Like the little song we said, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Wherever you go, there is light that is shining. So you really represent a lighthouse. All these people are coming in. And they say, there's Lawrence right there. I know I'm not going to hit the wall because he is the lantern. He is beacon light. So continue to shine, my brother. And I really enjoyed talking with you. I know we could go even further, but I know you have some more things to share. Why don't you share some more things with us that's on your heart?
Okay. When you're out here and you're auditioning, sometimes you're going to go weeks, months, even a season where the word is no. Don't take it personally. No, switch it around. On to the next. So mentally, it does not drain you, and mentally you won't find yourself in a dark place. And I hope I'm reaching somebody.
Come on.
Where you contemplating ending your life because your dreams are not coming fulfilled at the speed you want them done. Then number two, I got to talk to my veterans. There are 21 million of us out here. And I need you to know you can always reach out. I got your six. And you know what that means. I got your back.
Right, right.
I have too many of you guys checking out on suicide. I need you to reach out to me, reach out to Dr. Dent, talk to somebody. I know about PTS. I know about being scared. PTS is basically being on alert for so many hours that you can't come down. You know? I'll tell you, Dr. Dent, sometimes when I hear Muslims talking or praying, even here in California, I'm instantly in Iraq. That's not good.
Right.
Because I was sent there to do something. I'm not a conscious objector. Now I can shoot that rifle. So yeah. So you have to stay focused. I know some of you guys were asked to do some dark things. Understand this. You were following orders. I get that. But now it's time to let it go because it's eating you up on the inside. I know you're taking them drinks and you're smoking them weed and you're swallowing them pills. Cut that out now. Come see me. We can start running, start doing them push-ups. I've been down that dark hole. But like I said, I came out on the other end. There's a reason why I know I failed Ranger selection now because it was not meant for me to be a Ranger.
Right.
All those guys in them top tier, them Rangers, them Special Forces, them those elite airborne, Delta Force, all those guys, I know what you do. And I appreciate it. God knows I do, you know. But when the task is over, you guys need to decompress. You need to decompress quickly because that stuff is worse than cancer. Some of the stuff they've seen and they were asked to do, Dr. Dent, it's just like humanly possible. I don't even know how they deal with it. Most officers at that rank, especially when you're a Navy SEAL or Ranger, they only do 36 years of age. That's an old man. Can you believe that? 36, you are completely exhausted. Knees shot, hip shot, brain is shot. You done saw too much garbage. You know, it's not normal to see the inside of a man's head.
Yeah.
Like me, I tell my buddy, you know, some of my dreams at night, I still see them burnt bodies from the Iraqis that got hit with depleting uranium. They're like frozen like in time. And I mean, you're like, wow. And once you see something, you can't unsee it. So I know what you guys are going through. Please reach out.
Yes.
Please reach out because we need you. And remember, what you went through, you went through. But here's the thing. You did get through it.
Yes.
You'll hear me now. You got through it. So let's just take it a step further. Let's focus our attention on something else because we're military. We can pick up in a second. You got laser precision focus. What do you want to do? You want to write a screenplay? Write it. You want to write a book? Do it. You want to do stand-up comedy? Get on the mic. Go. You have laser focus. You were a Ranger. You were a SEAL. You were a Delta Force. Put the gun down. Put the bottle down. You have something no one else can do. You can pick up attention and laser it like a guided missile. So I'm talking to you guys. You know I love you. Same earth, same dirt. I got your six, bro.
Come on.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, hey, I got to end on this. I got your six. And we're going to end on this, the end part of focus on the family.
Yes.
Now, your parents gave you what they gave you, and you received it. And now you gave that to third generation. Talk about your stepdaughter in Thailand, man. That's such
Brandy.
Brandy. Come on, Brandy. Come on.
Yeah. I've known Brandy since she was 4 years old. And me and her mom were friends. It didn't kind of sort of work out, but we're still friends for Brandy. Brandy's 17 now. She wants to come to UCLA. She wants to do medicine. We talk every day, every single day. It's amazing. My 17 and her 17. My 17 was 3. Her 17 is 45. I got a constant reminder. No, Brandy, you can't do that. Right. Everybody does it. Everybody can't be you.
Right.
You have me as your father. Right. She's like, okay, Dada. I said, okay, I'll take Dada. I'll take Dada. But we're getting there. I'm excited about her coming to school here at UCLA. We're working out some things. I think she's going to be a great physician. Remember, I started out in biology, chemistry. I got accepted. I know about the MCAT. I know about podiatry. So we can get her there. You know, maybe it wasn't meant for me, but it was for her.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So once again, I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Dent. And thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. We hope you tune in again next time for another broadcast on TRP Live. Remember also to share your likes and you subscribe to stay in tune with the upcoming broadcasts and events. Final message for you tonight is keep looking up and God bless you all.